Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about Invoked Despia. So, why am I playing this deck? Well, realistically, I should be playing this with something like Dogmatica. It just makes the deck go round. But I wanted to give it a try with specifically just Aleister to see how Aleister worked with the Despia cards. And let me tell you, it's okay. It does brick a little bit, but all in all, again, just throw Dogmatica into this. It's much better. I wanted to do it without. Don't do that to yourself. Just take out some of these bricky cards like this one, and this, and you'll be fine. Anyway, moving on. I've talked about Aleister before. If you don't know Aleister, it's very simple. He allows you to get an Omni Negate onto the field with one card. Absolutely crazy. So he's also kind of just Ash Blossom bait for a lot of things. They see a Magical Meltdown come down and they're like, nah, Ash Blossom. They see an Aleister get normaled and they're like, nah, Ash Blossom. So, there's that. Anyway, Aleister, we're playing 3 of him. We're playing the 2 Invocations, 2 Magical Meltdown. That's pretty standard for the Aleister package. As for the Despia package, we are playing triple Tragedy, triple Aluber, triple Fallen Volbaz. We are playing double Dramaturg, as well as the 2 Theater and triple Opening. The reason we're playing so many of these cards is because of the fact that they're better than just drawing into more hand traps. Hand traps can be a bit bricky, and I didn't really need more hand traps, seeing as how we had things like Super Poly and Forbidden Droplets in here. So more hand traps just ended up bricking me more, so I went with this instead. There are a few other tech cards that we have thrown in, with Protecting Spirit, Loa, as well as Christia. I hate them. They're not good. I would say play more hand traps, but the thing is, playing hand traps isn't necessarily a good thing. But I don't really know what else to play. Just play the Dogmatica stuff instead. So, you know, take out a Dramaturg, take out a Fallen of Volbaz, take out an Aluber. You take out all of these weird cards, just play the Dogmatica crap. It's way better. Anyway, moving on. As for the tech cards, we are playing triple Maxi, triple Ash Blossom, 1 Nibiru, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, double Super Poly, double Called by the Grave, and double Forbidden Droplets. Realistically, I would play triple Super Polymerization, but I would not play any more Forbidden Droplets. Forbidden Droplets is really good. It's a really solid card. However, it can be kind of bricky. If you end up seeing more than one of it, it's kind of dead, that second copy. So, I only play 2. I only ever need to see 2. Realistically, I never really need to see more than that. Yeah, that's basically it. It's pretty standard. I've talked about all of these cards before, so I'm not going to get too much into this. The only one I haven't talked about is this one. The reason it's good is because it can special summon itself when you activate a fairy type effect, as well as it can banish a face-up card your opponent controls by switching the battle position of an attack of one other attack or just an attack position monster you control. So you switch a monster to defense position and banish a card your opponent controls. It's nice. I never ended up using it, but it's nice, and a light and a fairy. So that's also why we're playing Christia, because we're playing a bunch of fairies. Okay, moving on to the extra deck. As for the Invoked package, we're playing 1 Kaliga, 1 Purgatrio, 1 Mage Lanica, 1 Algides, and 2 Mechaba. 6 different Invoked cards. Realistically, should I be playing all of these? No. But I do anyway. There's a lot of space in this extra deck that you can, you can include a bunch of different stuff. For example, you could play something like the first Dark Lord if you choose to, because you can summon it off of the Despia cards. The thing is, it's rather inconsistent, so, I mean, I'd rather just play more Invoked stuff, which, some of it did come up. We were playing 2 Super Polymerization targets in Mud Dragon of the Swamp, as well as Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Realistically, you could play another one of the Super Polymerization targets, but I don't think it's all that necessary. Actually, it might be a good idea to play the Predaplant one. Let me show you it real quick. What? Okay, so you could either play Triff, which allows you to, you get attack equal to the original attack of all other monsters on the field with predator counters. It doesn't have a way to spread predator counters, I don't think. But if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can negate the summon once per turn, I think. Yeah. Or if your opponent controls a monster with predator counters, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. So it's okay. But yeah, you can play this, or you could play Drago, Drago, Predator Planet Drago. It requires a fusion and a dark monster, but what it can do is target negate. That's all it does. It just targets, adds a predator counter to them, but it negates their effects. So those are the two other super polymerizations you could play, or super polymerization targets you could play instead of the invoked stuff if you wanted to do that. Anyway, moving on, we are playing Titaniclad as well for our Fallen of Albaz. We are also playing Albion for the Fallen of Albaz, and then we are playing 2 Despia fusions in Q and Proskinion. As for the the Link monsters, we're playing Almirage and Secure Gardna for the Aleister, the Invoker, and then Black Lesser Soldier, Solid Soldier. This card's good. It's not great, but it's good. Moving on to the replays. Let's see how this does. Before we hop into the duels, let me just say that over 80% of the people who watch my content aren't subscribed. So if you find yourself coming back on the regular, you can always subscribe. And if you end up finding that you don't like the content anymore, you can always unsubscribe later. It's free, it's fun, and it allows me to continue making content for you guys on the daily. So if you like the content, consider subscribing. Anyway, let's hop into the duels. Alright, so here we are in our first duel, and I kind of bricked. I don't have any plays that I can realistically make. So we drew Ash Blossom called by Super Poly, which is okay, but we're just going to set the tragedy here. So they are going to activate Mystical Beast Master Cerberus, and I'm going to say, no, I don't want you to get the search and to pop yourself. That seems like a bad idea, so we're just going to stop that. They're going to activate Into the Void, and let me just tell you, why is it, not tell you, but complain at you. Why is it that Chicken Game, Into the Void, and, what is this one? Upstart Goblin, and Pot of Desires are all at 3. That makes no sense. That is too much draw power. We drew another brick. Didn't do anything. Sad day. They did send their entire hand to the graveyard, which is kind of funny. They activated their effect of the Pendulum once again to go for Jackal King. Jackal King will then special summon out Cerberus, and guess what? Cerberus is a light, so you know what that means. Let's get fusion summoning. So we're going to activate Super Polymerization, tribute off everything into, or to go into Proskinion. Tragedy is going to activate to search out Aluber. Holy crap. I'm tired. It's a long day. So they're going to scale up their Master Cerberus again, and I'm going to go for Aluber here. Now, I had 2 options that I could go for. Given the fact that I have Christia, what I could do is I could go for the fusion spell, or the field spell. I could tribute off these 2 to go for Q, and then I could special summon out Christia because I would have exactly 4 fairies in the grave. Did I want to do that? No. Why? Because that's dumb. So instead, I searched the branded opening to go for Dramaturg instead. I like Dramaturg a little bit more, meaning if they go for anything that isn't a Pendulum monster from the extra deck, I'm able to negate it. So I'm going to banish one of our tragedies in order to set the branded opening again, just so that I have it in rotation for if I draw a card. I'm going to activate, or I'm going to attack in with Proskinion, because I didn't know if I could get over this with 1800, but also Proskinion burns, so if it had a high attack or defense, I was able to burn. So I dealt 1500 and then 1800, putting them low on life points because they activated the 2 chicken games, and then got rid of the chicken game for their own field spell. They realize they can't do anything, so they disconnect and basically scoop it up. So, good game. Alright, so here we are in game 2, and once again, I kind of don't have anything unless this branded opening resolves, and they fire off a Maxi. Okay, that's fine. I can still play around this, because branded opening allows me to add it to the hand instead of special summoning it. So we're going to discard one of these Forbidden Droplets to add the Aluber. Aluber is going to be normal summoned to search out the field spell. We're going to activate our field spell here, go for Q with our Christia that we had in hand, set it in defense position, and then we will set our Forbidden Droplets. They did get 1 draw off of the Maxi, but not that big of a deal. The reason I set Forbidden Droplets as well is because Super Polymerization might be dead. Like in this case, I wouldn't be able to do anything. They're just going to get a free special summon. So setting Forbidden Droplets here is way better. And I knew that Super Polymerization could be dead, whereas Forbidden Droplets tends to be live. So yeah, we're going to activate that here. So they ended up discarding their Branded Opening, and we are going to negate the Fallen of Albaz. So we negate that by sending the Super Polymerization that we had. We want the Field Spell, we want the Fusion Monster, and we have Aluber in Grave, which is very nice for us. They're going to special summon out their Ecclesia in order to search out the Fleur-de-Lis, and I'm going to switch everything to 0 attack, just because it's funny. We draw another Super Polymerization. Not the greatest, but hey, not a lot that we can do about that. They're going to special summon out their Fleur-de-Lis on activation of our effect to negate our effect. Feels bad. We knew it was coming, but that's the reason why I did that. If I could have dealt a lot of damage, that would have been nice, but in all honesty, I decided to actually attack it into the Fleur-de-Lis here, because we have the floating effect of Aluber here. So we're going to special summon out Aluber. They're going to activate their effect of Dogmatica Encounter, which is very interesting. They're going to special summon out their Fleur-de-Lis, and I'm going to redeclare once again into the Fallen of Albaz. They're going to, then the floating effect of Despia Theater is going to activate, and we will special summon out the Q, Despian Q. We're going to attack into the Dogmatica Ecclesia, and then proceed to the end phase, keeping Super Polymerization in hand, just in case we need it. They're going to go for Aleister the Invoker, and it turns out we might end up needing this Super Polymerization. They are going to activate their Invocation, and I'm going to switch everything to 0 attack, because otherwise they're going to just be able to summon out a Mechaba, and at that point, not a lot I can do I can't modulate this guy's attack or defense without being banished. However, I should have done that, because, notably, if this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can add a Fallen of Albaz or a Despia monster from your deck to your hand. So even if they had negated this, a few things would have happened. One, this guy would have allowed me to special summon, but two, no, this one doesn't. This one's only if it's destroyed. No, this one would activate. Aluber would activate, and I'd be able to special summon. So I technically made a mistake there by activating my effect a little bit too early. But I don't know whether that was the right choice, given we don't know the contents of the hand. So they add back one of the Aleisters, and they're going to activate the Aleister here, which is actually a pretty... It's a mistake, yes, but it's not that big of a mistake. I think the biggest mistake here is the fact that they negate the Aluber. They probably should have just let it go, keep the Aleister in hand. Well, yes, they do get to banish the Aluber, and my guy doesn't get to come back. In all honesty, it wouldn't have done too much. A monster would only have been negated for that turn, so there's that. However, with the fact that we have a Super Polymerization, it doesn't really matter what we end up drawing, because we are going to immediately tribute summon off their monsters for Mud Dragon. Since they had 2 light monsters, but they were different types, it allows us to go for Mud Dragon. So we're going to attack in for 1900 here and pass the turn. They draw into Max C. Okay, they end their turn. Feels bad. Not a lot they can do. We're going to add Tragedy here. I'm going to change the attribute of Mud Dragon to Dark, so that we can use our Despia Theater to go for Starving Venom Fusion Dragon here. So we're going to activate the effect there of Theater to go for Starving Venom, which allows them to draw a card, which is fine. But we get to add Aluber off of the effect of Tragedy. We put them on a 2-turn clock with this guy, which is now a 1-turn clock, because we get that attack off. They draw into Ash Blossom called by, and at this point, it's basically over. We activate our Aluber, search out Branded Opening. Not that I even need to do this. They're going to called by our Q, which, again, doesn't really matter. I'm not playing an extra copy of it anyway. Should I be? Maybe, but realistically, it rarely comes up given the fact that he can float from the grave. But yeah, we actually attack into the Ash Blossom and end up not killing them because yeah, Ash Blossom has 1800 defense, and I needed to attack with the Aluber in order to hit over with the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon for lethal. This guy has to be special summoned in defense, by the way, which is why I special summoned it there. But yeah, at this point, it's just game over. I actually troll with the Aleister there, but all in all, we knew that we had lethal there, so we just attack in for lethal. So, all in all, how does the deck perform? It's okay. Realistically, I should just be playing this with Dogmatica, but all in all, I do really like the Aleister engine with the Despia engine. I think they work very well together. The attributes are very nice. The fusions are very nice. But all in all, yeah, a lot of the extra deck could be better or more suited. You could play Shaddoll with this. You could play Dogmatica with this instead of the crap that I'm playing. But all in all, it was fun. It was nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.